So I'm joined today by Nick from Golf Specific Fitness. Hi Nick, how are you?
Hi there, Sarah. Very well, thank you very much. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So you've got a golf mobility session for us today. Who is this designed for and who is it going to help?
It's, although I'm doing it obviously with yourself one-on-one, it's basically designed for everybody. So what we're going to be tackling today is something called LCS or lower cross syndrome. It's basically something that most people that I screen suffer from. So it's a muscle imbalance, and it's caused mainly by doing exactly what I'm doing now, sitting down.
So this is perfect for golfers stuck at home at the moment, in lockdown,
Yeah.
not moving very much.
Exactly, yeah. You know, on average, during lockdown, we're sat down for around 60 hours during the week, which sounds like a lot, but actually when you think about it, you know, whether it be whilst we're eating, whether we're working, or whether we're just watching a bit of Netflix in the evening, we do a lot of sitting during the day. And what that tends to do is switch off certain muscles and make other muscle groups like the hip flexors overactive. So what we're going to do today is stretch some muscles out and then get some of those other muscles turned on and do some strength work with them, ready to get back on the golf course.
Okay, perfect. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, let's get going then. So first of all, we're just going to start off with some stretching. So I'm going to give you a stretch for the hip flexors here, just to start to try and get those lengthened back out again. So as you can see, when I'm sat down like this, they're obviously doing a 90-degree angle, so they're currently kind of activated. And of course, when I'm sat down like this, they're activated for long periods of time, so they can get quite tight. So what we're going to do is try and just release them a little bit. So what I need you to do is get onto the floor for me like you are. And then you're just going to go into a split stance, just like I am right now. That's great. And then the most important part of this particular stretch here is I need you to try and activate the actual hip flexors. So what a lot of people do from here is they normally just go straight forwards like this, and they're not actually targeting this particular area that we're trying to do here, which is the hip flexor. So I need you to actually, what I would call, tuck underneath with your hips. And what you'll find, and try and activate those glutes at the same time. So just try and actually tuck it underneath there. That's it, perfect. And then what you'll find is you'll actually find this area here is it will feel a bit more kind of activated, so to speak. So you'll be able to feel it through there. And then I just want you to slowly roll forwards for me, and you should be able to feel that stretch all down this area here. Now, if you can't feel a stretch through there, then actually your hip flexors aren't particularly tight. And in which case you can move on to the other side. So let's go and give that other side a go now for me, Sarah. So we'll just flip over, same thing, into your split stance, tuck underneath, turn those glutes on for me, and then we're just going to roll forwards if we can. And you should be able to feel that stretch just down this area here. And this is a big muscle, and this basically, when we're in our golf posture, this stops you from coming out of posture and doing some what we call early extension. So that's stretch number one that I'd like everybody to try and attempt. Next one is what we call a figure of four, and this is going to target more of the glutes. So you can do this on the floor or you can do this on a chair. What I'll do is I'll probably get you to do it on the floor, Sarah, if that's all right, and I'll do the variation of it on the chair. So if you go onto your back for me, and then I want you to just pull one of your legs, the knee up towards your chest. And then with the other leg, your ankle, I want you to place your ankle on your left leg on top of that knee, that right knee there for me. Just on top of that knee, if you can get it for me, just as in, there we go, perfect, great. And then you can actually place your arms around that right leg if you want to as well, just to hold it in place. That's really good. And I'm basically going to do the same exercise or the same stretch, but I'm going to do it sat down. So here, I'm just going to go into here. And then from there, I'm trying to keep nice and upright with my posture. And just push into that leg, and you'll find a really good stretch there, Sarah. If you just sit into that, you can probably feel that. And this is just the two different variations that we've got. I would say the sitting down is if you have problems getting on and off the floor, you can use this one. If you're a little bit more supple, you can get onto the floor and you can conduct that particular stretch that Sarah's doing there. Of course, I want you to do that on both sides again for me. How does that one feel, Sarah?
You definitely feel it a lot more than when you're sitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good, definitely. You can feel it stretching the glutes.
Yeah. Perfect, so that's that one done. So great, so there's two that you can do at home, no equipment required, really easy. Now I'm just going to move on to a couple of really simple activation exercises, and I know we did this drill the other day and it's really interesting. So I'll get you to stand up for this one quickly, Sarah. And we're going to do something that we actually test when we do our TPI screening. So this is what we call pelvic tilt. So this is anterior and posterior tilting, tipping forwards and backwards. So I want you to just go into your 7-9 posture for me. And then from here, I just want you to tip your hips forwards and backwards, effectively trying to arch the bottom of the back and then trying to flatten the bottom of the back for me. That's great. Stay in that posture for me. That's good. And what this basically is this is anterior posterior tilting, very important for everyday life, but especially the golf swing. Now what I'd like to do is see if we can get any more tilt out of your body by activating the glutes a little bit more. So we're going to take it back onto the floor now. Again, no equipment required. Perfect. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get you to lie on the floor, if that's all right, absolutely dead straight out. And again, what we're going to now do is I'm just going to try and get those glutes activated and working and turned on. So one at a time, I want you to try and activate your right glute and then your left glute, your right glute and then your left glute, and then both of them together for me. And just go for a couple of rounds of doing that for me. And what we're basically doing is we're firing those muscles up, those glute muscles now, and we're telling them that we want them to be activated, we want them to be used. That's great. And then now if you roll over onto your front for me, Sarah. And we're going to go into what we call a half frog position. So I want you to bring your left leg up into about a 90-degree position to the side, your knee. Perfect, great. And then from there, I just want you to lie absolutely dead straight out in front of you. That's cool, thank you. And then now I want you to give you that same sensation of turning on the glutes, but at the same time I want you to lift that left knee up off the floor. That's good, perfect. And then turn the glutes on and lift again, good. And basically, again, you're gonna do this on both sides, probably 10 reps on both sides. And what we're doing is we're just priming the glute muscles there that we wanna activate them. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna retest on that tilt test again, Sarah. So back into 7-9 posture. And I just want you to roll through that motion of anterior, posterior tilt for me. And as you can probably feel, you can definitely see it, you've definitely got a bit more range of motion in there now. That's because we've got those muscles activated.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot easier.
Perfect. So again, that's dead simple. I would advise all the watchers to do that before they get to the golf course, preferably. You know, you can do it at the comfort of your home. You could do it in changing rooms at the golf club as well. It's very simple. It's going to take you all of about 5 minutes, but actually it's a key move in the golf swing, and you'd really benefit in your golf swing from doing that particular activation exercise. Now I'm going to move on to a couple of exercises that you can do. Again, no equipment required, and we can do it on the comfort of your home floor. So we're going to take you back down there, Sarah, if that's all right. And we're going to just start a little bit with movement. So basically one of the muscles that does get a little bit stiff is erector spinalis, which runs all the way down basically from the bottom of your skull all the way down to the bottom of or the top of your hips. And this is from where we become hunched over our laptops, or you know, whether we're eating, we're hunched over our plate. But it's a natural thing to kind of lose posture in that way. So what we're trying to do is just expand everything back out again, get posture nice and upright. And again, this is going to really help us in our golf swing. So what I want you to do is work into what we call the quadruped position, or all fours. And from here, we're going to do what we call cat camels. So I want you to really kind of arch the back up into our cat, and then through the mid-spine into our camel. And you're really just going to keep on working that mid-spine area. Again, we're probably looking to do 2 to 3 sets of 10 reps of this exercise each way. That's great, Sarah. And you can just see we're really working that mid-spine area, but we're also activating the hips here as well, and a little bit of that upper spine area. That's perfect, Sarah. And then if you want to progress that, we can go into what we call a bird dog. So this from here, we're expanding out one of the arms on the opposite leg, and we're bringing that back together again. And now we're just lengthening that spine area again. That's perfect. That's great. And again, that just really expands that bottom lumbar spine area as well. And this will just make you feel great once you finish this. And this is something you can do every day. I would say 20 minutes a day, either in the morning or maybe in the evening after you finish your day's work, and it will just really get that body opened up again.
Yeah, that's a great stretch.
Now we're going to work into some core. So one of the other things about lower cross syndrome is generally weak core muscles, especially at the bottom of the abdomen. So we're going to do some flutter kicks now. So we're working onto our back. And then from here, we're literally just going to flutter our feet upwards and downwards, nice and quick, really bracing the bottom core here as well, keeping that turned on. That's great. And basically we just want to do that maybe 3 sets of 30 seconds, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Really simple. And again, it just gets that core fired up and gets it ready to move again. So that's your core exercise that you can do at home. Now, following on from that, we've got another one, which would, again, would be a squat, basically a basic squat. You can either do this with weight or you can do an air squat. In terms of posture, so we're working back up onto our feet, shoulder width apart, ideally toes pointing forwards, or you might want to point them out. And then from here, basically, you can either have a weight out in front of you, maybe a dumbbell, or you can just do a simple air squat, which will just be down like this and back up again. We want to work the weight into the heels on the way down. I want nice slow tempo all the way down and then explosive up, just like the golf swing. Whenever we're working on any golf swing movements or any movements to improve our golf swing, I want you to imagine them being explosive, just like the golf swing is explosive. So the tempo will always be slow on the way down and then explosive on the way up, just like we want our golf swing to be.
Okay, great.
That's a squat. So that's obviously going to strengthen the glute area or the buttock area. Again, something that we're just trying to activate and turn those muscles back on again after them being shut down after sitting down for long periods of the day.
So did you have any other exercises for us today, Nick?
Got 2 more for you, and again, they're just focusing on the hip area. So again, onto our backs, nice and simple. Got what we would call a hip thrust. So from here, down onto our back, and then we're just working up, clenching our buttocks when we get up to the top there, and again, nice and slow on the way back down, and then firing them back up again for me, Sarah. That's perfect, nice and slow on the way down and firing up. And again, for somebody who's a bit more advanced here, you could place weight on the hips and you could do that, or you could actually do them on the side of the chair off of the sofa. So multiple different ways you can progress that particular exercise as well. But again, that is strengthening the glute muscles, and it's just a good activation exercise as well. So you can do that without a weight, just as a warm-up exercise as well.
Okay.
And finishing off, finally, we've got what we call donkey kicks.
I love these.
That's great. So again, we're working on to all fours, and then from here, we're just getting a good 90-degree angle in that back leg, and then we're just pushing that up towards the sky for me. And again, this can be progressed. You can do this with some bands around the thighs if you wanted to. You see some people in the gym actually pushing weights upwards, but you can do this absolutely equipment-free at home, and you're going to see some great benefits from doing that particular exercise as well.
So how quickly can people expect to see improvements in their golf swing by doing this quick program?
I would say, any kind of exercises that we do like this, generally when I see my clients, we retest, we do a TPI screening every 4 to 6 weeks. And I would always say it's worth working with a fitness professional if you're looking to improve your fitness when it comes to golf. But I would say with this, you'll start to feel the benefits almost straight away in terms of how it really kind of opens up the body and kind of activates those muscles again. So if you get to the golf course and you're feeling stiff, if you just do these exercises, if you find 5 minutes to do them before you tee off, I think you'll feel the benefit from them almost immediately, Sarah, to be honest.
Well, that's brilliant. Thank you, Nick. Hopefully everyone can try this at home and see how they get on. But yeah, it's great tips from there and perfect for at the moment when we're all stuck indoors, sat down. Absolutely,
it keeps you busy in the morning or the evening. Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. No problem at all.